Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Grand Tactician Civil War. We're picking up right where we left off, and we just had the Department of Ohio having its first fight and everything out in Louisville. Had some other fun stuff going on, so we're just going to get right into it. Well, this will be an interesting thing. Our artillery is it looked like it was completely out of ammunition, but we have a really good um, potential defensive position, and we do outnumber them significantly. So we'll see what we can do here. Okay, so for some very bizarre reason, they are telling us that we are on the attack. Uh, which is really strange, but you know what? It's actually going to be a really beneficial thing for us because that means we're not going to have to rely on our artillery doing a lot of counter battery fire, right? Which is good because obviously, if you have no artillery ammunition, your artillery can't fire. So, being on the attack, we can set the pace and do a lot of good that way. Okay, so I'm thinking is that we're going to put our army over here. We're going to start off a little rough, not following these roads and going over this. I don't know if we'd call it a mountain, small mountain, large hill, somewhere in the middle. But anyway, going over that to pick up on this road rather than marching all the way over here and then coming all the way back. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. We're going to start over here. Now, the one thing we are probably going to do is see if there's a way for us to just retire that. And it doesn't look like there is, so what we'll do instead is we will just not bring those units into the fight. I mean, they don't have any ammo, so what good are they going to do, right? So, all right. Oh, apparently they have a little ammo, which is incredibly surprising, but okay. I guess we will bring them along. Some ammo is better than no ammo. We haven't even started fighting. Howdy, can you need assistance? Alright, we're getting into position to attack here, but we do have some damaged units. Units that are kind of low on troop numbers, so I'm going to be a little cautious on how we deploy some of these guys. Because if I can avoid having units getting decimated to the point and smashed to the point that they can't really fight, then that would be ideal. And I think after this battle, I'll probably do some levels of consolidating units so that they stay um, effective fighting forces and just recruit some new troops. But we'll see how it goes. For now, we're getting our army in position to attack. I do like the fact that we've got this hill there. I may reposition my artillery to make use of that, but we'll see. We may not have to. At least not initially. Let's see how that goes. Speed things up just a little bit so that we can get our guys in position. Now, they should have a unit of artillery around here somewhere. I don't know if it's over here or over here somewhere, but we don't see it yet, which is an interesting thing. Might be in these trees. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay.
Damn. Sergeant, any word from the commander? Damn.
And we're actually going to try and get our guys to go to counter battery fire. But it doesn't look like we quite have the range for that. So.
Keep calm, boys. Soon enough, we'll see it. Keep the cages, damn you! One! What's the strength, Sergeant, any word from the man?
Okay, let's slow down time just a little bit here. They're definitely trying to push on our artillery. They think it's vulnerable.
Keep the cages, damn you! One!
I will say I do have one kind of major complaint about this game. I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy this game a lot. One thing I don't like is you have these random moments where your units will decide that you need to completely shuffle everything that they're doing around. And when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, you give them an order and they're swinging around. I mean like, you'll give them an order and instead of just marching forward, they will all consolidate, then re-spread out, then start to move forward. It's like, why didn't you just move forward? Like, it makes no sense to me. Like this. They could have just moved forward and swung around. They didn't. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. You get something like this weak angle. Okay, I can see moving to that. Yeah, I can. But sometimes it's just ridiculous. won the battle. Let's see if we can't inflict some extra little casualties here. I would say that unit got pretty smashed up. Not gonna lie. 550 of its original, what, 1,600 something troops? So about a third of that unit just gone in one battle. That's rough. Alright, we lost just about 560 troops. We lost, looks like an exact even 1,900 for there, so good exchange rate for us. And I know I say that a lot, but like that's really our objective, right? Like we need to make sure that we are doing more damage to their armies than they're doing to us. Even if it's like a win, like we would still want to do more damage to them than the reverse, right? So, and we need to remember that we're going to be folding some of these units together just so that we actually have some semblance of being able to have a functional army there with those units. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright. I'm gonna try and recruit. Yeah, we can recruit out of New Jersey. I don't think we have very many New Jersey units, so. Alright. So that's two attacks kind of back to back that the Department of Pennsylvania is beating off, so good for them. Good for them. And, brilliant. I said Williams did really good, so we'll promote him. Get him going. Okay. Man, I am probably checking this fleet all the freaking time, but I'm just eager for us to get those ships out, get that blockade going, because that'll be another place that we can get our economy better than theirs just by forcing them to keep keep going and keep you know using money they don't have. So does that trigger the eyes? Is that unit that army moving? I can't tell. Speed up time. Well, it doesn't look like it is. Fantastic. Alright, we're trying to get ourselves. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. We're going to put a fort down here out by St. Louis and kind of force the enemy to be a little bit more circumspect. I mean, I know that they haven't done a whole lot out in the West in this save, but um, we want them to have to go through as much as we possibly can, right, before they get into a position of being able to do anything. So. Mm-hmm. And we might put another fort out here somewhere. Again, just that level of forcing them to go through as many speed bumps and such as we can make them go through a meat grinder and slow down versus us having to do the same. So I know it's really weird that they're just leaving that army right there. I guess they want to pin down our army, which can't blame them, I guess, right? Oh, 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 there's the Army of Tennessee. Yeah, I think we'll probably set up some, get set up for this next battle, and then we'll probably call it there. Yeah. In the meantime, let's go over some of the thoughts that I've got. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to get our administrative reform. Um, what that does is it makes it easier for us to get our policies going. Um, which again, those things that give us better military contracts or allow us to spend more money on various things. So that's a big deal. That's something we want. The next thing I'm focusing on is kind of depending on where you're looking. Like, so on the military side, I want to get us some um, better technology when it comes to the military, right? So, and by that I mean artillery reforms will let us have bigger artillery units, will let us have um, units that work together better when they're all artillery, the way we're already doing it. It'll increase their effectiveness. And then on the civilian side, I want to get corn as king a little bit, right? Because that's going to help improve relations with Europe. Keep those things, keep the Confederates from being able to very effectively bring Europe in to try and intervene. And then also we want farm mechanization. Now the reason we want that is because that's going to increase our uh, farm output, which is going to help our population grow. But it also means that we'll get more volunteers because the farms won't be as manpower intensive. That means with more volunteers, we'll have the ability to effectively field bigger armies, and we all know how that's going to go. The other thing I want to do there on the civilian side is called trade deals. It helps a little bit on the European relations. The big deal is going to be that it's going to give us more money. More money, we can afford more troops, all that good stuff. So it's that level of being able to get the feedback loop going in our favor. So Alrighty, everybody. That's where we are going to leave off. We will start again next time, right here with another battle. Appreciate you guys. Feel free to leave any comments, tips, suggestions in the comments, and I will see you next time. Dragonheart, signing off.